Supreme Rising. I am Naga the Wise, NagaNeter, NagaNter. You already know the vibes. My title today is Your Truth is in Your Actions and Your Shortcomings. Having slightly difficulties of where I want to start with this particular topic. You know, I was seeing something and it was like somebody said I don't know if it was in a title or in a post or whatever, but it was like, how did it go? Yeah, the girl was like, you unlocked my feminine side. She said that to a guy or whatever. She was like, you unlocked my feminine side. And most of the knowledge that we have, is given to you out of oppression, I know y'all don't want to get that or absorb that. Y'all just want to make right what is available. And that's not even the key to the shit. Like that's not gonna be it. I don't give a shit what book says what. That shit is false. Everything is false, yo. It's all false. That's why I go on my own about being right and wrong. Like, not for nothing. You have a responsibility to be right and wrong. Right? You gotta understand the deepest difference inside of that, not self-serving. Like, what if you was to take yourself out of that dynamic and really like served right and wrong how you were supposed to? Like, not about how you feel, but doing the right thing, alleviating the wrong thing. You'll start getting a different dynamic of understanding, right? So let's go back. The girl was like, unlock my feminine side. Why would you say something that's stupid, yo? Like, life is not a game. And that's the problem. Like, y'all play so many video games and shit in life, like, or y'all just play around so much, you start referencing real shit like it's a game. And you say these stupid things like, you unlocked my feminine side. Just say you was afraid. It's more liberating to say you was in fear is the reason why you didn't indulge in yourself the way you were supposed to, or move correctly. You was afraid, so you chose the ladder in characters that had nothing to do with you. So you might have ended up being a different type of person, but it was because you was afraid to be yourself. That's what people are really scared to say. Like, I'm afraid to be a woman in this situation. I'm afraid to be all the way this way in this situation. The opposing qualities make people feel indifferent to the way they want to be. So now we're referencing things like video games and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody unlocked nothing. Nobody unlocked nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the reality. The Bible is false, yo. There's a lot of true points in it, but its backbone that it stands on is false. The spine of the book is false. And the reason why I can say this is because I can't go and steal a bunch of your clothes that you already been wearing and then rock them like they new. Oh, just because I put a different stitch on it, they're going to be like, nah, we used to wear those in the 70s. See what I'm saying? So how could it be new? Oh, nah, we rock hoodies and Timbs and baggy jeans in the 80s and the 90s. That was just how we rock. Like, that was our style. You can't take that later and be like, nah, we made this style because everybody was making skinny jeans. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's not a reality. It's called recycling. There's nothing new under the sun. But what is a capability of knowing that it hasn't been a nuance a nuance, something to play its role in its highest esteemed value, has been the natural way of who we are as a culture. The stories in Kemet and early Egypt speak to the qualities of the golden ages when other entities or creations not of certain aspects were questioning the value if they can have their own separate set of principles, religious practices, and they were told no, because this world is not based off that. This world is not based off that. You know what I'm saying? So that's where a lot of this stuff started falling victim at. Like the world isn't based off that. The existence isn't based off the laws that are cultivated for control. Like they wanted to have this biblios, right? They wanted to have this controlling aspect of divinity that stated the factor of being all under one spiritual understanding. And because this is what the request was, that request was denied over and over and over. And the reason why it was denied is because this culture was a young culture at a particular time. And they wanted to formulate what you have as kingdomship or rulership, right? So because the kingdomship and the rulership couldn't become a main factor as what the times was that existed in the golden ages, they figured to do it the best way they could. They was like, we're going to do this in the way that is going to make them remember us, right? So then this is where all this turmoil come in. It's like I come into your house, right? And I say, well, you know what? I like how you got your furniture set up and all that, but I'm going to do this shit my way. You understand what I'm saying? And those particular energies is what ended up being the catalyst to create these false narratives or values, right? So now you have something that was at one point never seen, never heard, not even understood, not knowing what it was or where the hell it came from, to the fact that they're pillaging and traveling and enforcing this way of living on people. And what's more important about that retrospective value was it started doing the whole world a disservice. You know what I'm saying? Like, we make jokes about entities that look weird and shit, right? We make jokes about it. Like, yo, that's crazy. Why would they draw it like that? Or why would these depictions look like this? Well, it's the force of the mind bringing creation into retrospect. So to be nosy like that, to have eyes everywhere, states the value of fear, right? Fear will never be a part of anything almighty, all right? Because almighty is all, sees all. So it's like you can't reference one thing with another thing to try to place yourself in an almighty capability. Almighty doesn't have to see everything to know everything. It doesn't have to have eyes on every part of his body and orifice to actually play a role of having documentation of everything, right? It's like it's almighty. You know what I'm saying? But if you're thinking of that from a lesser standpoint of value, then they think about it as like, well, if we had eyes everywhere, we would be almighty. You see what I'm saying? Like it's the clash reference. It's only because that energy can only access from its base. It can't access from an almighty pretense because it needs something to subsidize its thoughts. So that the thoughts would have to manifest off the value of how you particularly feel and that creation based off its retrospect, so you can be supreme as having a trump card or a go-to to solidify that notion. That's not reality. That's more fear. Don't let this intelligence or the way I articulate things discourage you. Just pay close attention. In Kemet, there was a whole sit down. This young individual who might have been in charge of whatever group they were in charge of that wasn't a part of that actual culture was still granted the access to understand all of the civil thoughts and rights of an individual, what was procuring for that person, right? And this group even separated from their own particular group because jealousy is a bad sickness, yo. It's a terrible sickness. Jealousy is like the worst sickness in the world. It's worse than crack because you'll keep smoking on that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like you'll keep smoking on jealousy no matter what, especially unchecked. You'll smoke on that shit freely. So here you are having people that don't fit in naturally, wasn't given any of those attributes naturally, then request to have it seen in the way of their existence, like saying, we need something to control all of this. Can we take a piece of spirituality and put it on the mantle and say, if you don't follow this spirituality under the guise of this person telling you, then you're going to suffer. Right? What makes this reality? Your belief. What makes it even more reality is your separation from your understanding or your natural understanding of how you acclimate in every aspect to what you're supposed to know spiritually, opposed to you just going along to get along, right? See, we're talking two different time dynamics, you know? You always hear me talk about times that predate times, you know? And the reason why I speak to those things is because it was already done. The race was already completed. The knowledge was already formulated. The books was already laid. The understanding was already procured. The following had already taken place. The rise had taken place a numerous amount of times at that point. Like there wasn't a problem that couldn't have been solved already. It was already solved, is what I'm saying. Lack this knowledge to new creations. They didn't know what the hell they were getting spirituality for. Like if you didn't understand about the rise of divinity and spiritual energy rising to its highest purity. It's like saying a seed is in a hard status until the fruit comes out of it or the nut comes out of it and starts to formulate a tree, and then that tree grows. It just went through stages. So the same thing with the body. Like we knew we was going through stages to rise. So at some point in there, whatever came in didn't even understand the fact that stages existed. They didn't comprehend the growth of spirituality in stages. So they said, can we just have a spirituality so we could have our own thing? It was like, why? You don't even know what you're talking about. Like that don't make no sense. You know what I'm saying? Like it didn't, like the conversation didn't make any sense. And it was told no. And because they were told no, they got a attention tantrum. You know what I'm saying? That's where it started at. And separation, divide, division happened within their cell. They're a group of individuals. What happens when the cell, when it's ready to grow, it splits. You know what I'm saying? So you had one part that was contrastal to the understanding of what they were trying to do. And the one part was like, nah, because I feel what they're doing are right and I want to stay and learn. This side was like, they're controlling us. We need to rule. You know what I'm saying? And then they separated. So then they had one part that was left behind that wanted to acclimate in the right way, and one part that stole what it could to try to create its own understanding. So now you get so many years, so many hundreds of thousands of years, millions of years in the future, and everybody walking around holding this level of understanding. Well, keep in mind the plan was to break everything that told them no apart in order to solidify that understanding as a truth. So now the world is following the false retrospective spirituality. And this is why when you see a person like me speaking on a conductive relationship with the divine personally, or having like having this rise as far as spirituality being conducive to the divine, that's everybody's particular right. Like everybody should be able to rise in divinity. And the job is not, it's not a race. It's not of who's better or who's worse. It's if you were able to find your connection within divine. Where do you, like, a puppy nuzzles to the mother's nipple. One of them nipples is gonna, a puppy gonna get it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, I gotta get my milk too. So acclimated to the body of supreme understanding, that's the whole purpose. You know what I'm saying? Like you find your own high spirituality aspect in divinity. See, the characteristics don't separate into some, I'm gonna be jealous, I'm gonna be mad, I'm gonna be upset because XYZ takes place, or this person's doing better than me, or whatever have you. Like these are not realities. These are infractions to a false creation, or a creation that's not completely stable mentally. So you got to be mindful of what you're trying to be like, because they show you it's teeth. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I want to be like that. Why you want to be like that? Those are incomplete fractions. You know what I'm saying? Almighty states the value that you are complete. So therefore, it's not much that bothers you. You see what I'm saying? So you would be at peace no matter what circumstance you're in. That's Almighty. You know what I'm saying? Like, so circumstances always show themselves to people, and the first thing they do is show you their weakness. The truth is in your actions and your shortcomings. So when you're aggressed, you're angry, you're sad, you know what I'm saying? And you got to try to find the best way out of it. And I can't separate it and say I haven't been in those notions, but divine always shows me that it's so much been given to you. There's no need for you to feel that way. I had a dream last night, crazy dream. Like an ex of mine was projected into my dream or whatever. She wanted to give me the business. You know what I'm saying? She was giving it up too. Like we was literally like rolling and rolling. I was like, oh shit. It was doing it, doing it and doing it and doing it well, doing it and doing it and doing it. Wait, we was doing it. It was fun in the dream. And I woke up like, yo, I ain't, she sending dreams at me like that. Ugh. You know, the power of the mind and spirituality, it shows its own retrospect to the false reality of what one would have to deliberate. Majority of the time, y'all don't deliberate anything. You just go find what's late and what's already around, and you try to find the truth in that. You'll be like, nah, it's something in here for me. I'm gonna go look. I'm like, yo, why y'all keep making gas station stops? Like, I'll be stopping at this gas station, that gas station. Y'all gonna stop over here, stop over there. You're gonna get you a coffee, a tea, something to eat, some chips. You're gonna keep making pit stops. You know what I'm saying? You keep making all these pit stops, and then you get ready to get on the road. When I used to travel, I used to roll with the burning bush. That's it. I roll up them bushes. You know what I'm saying? I got them burning bushes with me. Might bring some water. You know what I'm saying? Maybe some fruit. And that's about it. You know what I'm saying? Like anybody else I would take with me, they would want to do too much. I'm like, yo, why is we doing too much? They be like, I gotta get what I got. Nobody don't give a shit what you gotta get. None of that stuff is important. You got to drive anyway. Drive, motherfucker. Like, yeah, all that extra shit ain't got nothing to do with nothing. That's all you need right now. I take care of everything else. Right? Like the world is acclimated people into a way to always have to have economic value. So it's like, I gotta stop to do this. I gotta stop to do that. That's addiction. That's addiction. When I had little shorties with me or whatever, we be road running and we be getting money, yo. We just was riding, yo, like riding all around the damn place. You know what I'm saying? Out of sight, out of mind, like just riding. We might hit this state, might hit that town. You know what I'm saying? We just be riding, like, yeah, we riding, yo. What's up? Make this money what you want. Anything you want. Got you. You know what I mean? Let's just do this. And that shit was fun. And then most people was like, yo, you can't, don't tell me what I can't do. I'm traveling. I can do whatever I want. I'm a child of the Most High. So and I'm reaching my highest example of spirituality. For the most part, people never had the lock-in understanding of contingencies to say they want to grow their spirituality. So you would have these relationships with people, we can't do that until we do this, or this can't happen until that happens. You know what I'm saying? Like, for the most part, it's already solidified when you with somebody. So that's the marriage. And then the next thing to do is conquer shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, test your spirit against things. You go places, you do things, you know, you do it together. So now you're lining the spirit up with that person as you experience things together. That's the knitting process. And the more you do that, the more it grows. And then particularly you become one with that person because you experience so many things together. But you got to be mindful of what you're sowing yourself to. If you don't know the type of energy you're sowing yourself to, you may literally sow yourself to something that's not really good for you. And now you just half and half. You know what I'm saying? Your shit all mixed up. But that was the plan in the first place. Like, just to go back and understand where it started from and why it started. You can't come after that and be like, well, this is a truth and that's a truth. After one conversation that states a value, I can never go over here and be like, well, let's consider this. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not a reality. You know, so just something to actually take in. Like, for the most part, people only exist within the value of their actions and their shortcomings. So you'll see people do things, you'll see them attempt to be some form of a value, but that literally puts them like the level of shit under your shoe, right? You know what I'm saying? Like if I stepped in gum and it had dirt on one side, the gum ain't just want to come off because the sticky part was on your shoe. You know what I'm saying? It's like this nasty shit always coming around. Let me take this nasty shit off my shoe. You know what I'm saying? Like, I stepped in shit. I stepped in doodle. You know what I'm saying? So you sit there on the edge of something with a stick until you get it all off, right? And then whatever's left, the remnants, you rub it in the dirt. And hopefully the dirt will granulate it up and take it off while you're walking. But you still got a remnant of shit smell on your foot. You smell it. Like, I smell shit. Or you step somewhere, you got a big pile of gum and it's sticking to somebody's carpet. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what these things do. Like, the truth is in your actions and your shortcomings. And you know if you're moving right through life, otherwise you would stick to shit. You would leave remnants behind. I'm telling you, whether y'all want to see it or not, whether y'all want to believe it or not, this be the shortcomings of people. Like, so you'll go somewhere and something will go left. You know what I'm saying? Or you'll be attached to somebody and then all of a sudden it just go wrong. And you know why? Because it was more that was sticking to that wasn't supposed to. This be the people who literally learned these ways of the failure of our culture. Not saying that we failed, but in the same retrospect, the questions that were asked to acclimate a new value of spiritual understanding was not ever supposed to take place. It's so many holes in that spiritual understanding. I'll be like, yo, this shit dumb. Well, I'm gonna keep reading this. It's like the more I read this, the more I have to accept it. And that's not something I'm gonna do. I'm free. I was born free. So my job is to be that in that image, right? But then they wanted to use that same energy to recreate people, right? To have them acclimate to a different understanding, which it doesn't procure the full connection of unleashing one's light, because they have to have you partake in things between you and the Most High. So it's like, all right, you can have this if you subsidize that with connections, if you subsidize this with addictions, if you have that with this reality. Like, and it's always a deeper story that takes you down a wormhole that you don't have to go down. It's like, why the fuck I want to go all the way down there? Read this. I don't give a shit about this guy. Who the hell is this person? I don't know about your story. I don't give a fuck about your story. Why am I caring? I wasn't even there. You know what I'm saying? Like, Divine always tell you to mind your own business. Focus on you. Keep your personal connection to the Most High. That's the most important thing. So why would I worry about anybody else that's putting a book, that's given a title or some false understanding? Believe me, the negative energy always has to formulate its space and its footing. It wants to come in and say, now I'm going to do this to try to, you ain't stopping nothing, though. Like, you look like an asshole. You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit just looks stupid on you. Like, when you are literally the descendant, right? You're the descendant of high rising spaces for everybody. Every problem that we have in this world right now, there's problems, right? That didn't exist when the golden ages were here. Every problem, this is why I said there's nothing new under the sun. Every problem was already solidified. It was already known. It was already fixed. You know what I'm saying? Like liberation for women. You know what I'm saying? Like contingencies for men to grow in every aspect. Like it's so many different things that existed in these times that were already for us. And they worked for a long period of time. The ages of the nobody can tell you when the golden ages started. They just tell you that the golden ages was there. You gotta think about these things. And if somebody's gonna try to tell you, that's because they're trying to put their own mark into existence. You know what I'm saying? Like we've been here for a long time. If you go through any of my videos, you'll hear me say that, you know what I mean, we've been here for billions of years as individual people. All in a conveyor belt of rising spiritually. Right? So we would rise spiritually in a way to be light points through history, right? And to keep it funky for you, a lot of these spiritual deities that rose was only rising to be the bridges for whatever they created at one point. And now you got people who have a disdain for who we are. Your own people disdain. They developed and understand the hate of a failed culture. So it's like, yo, we gotta be like that because they're winning. Materialistically, divine gonna wash you. Divine gonna wash you, pack you up, and send you shipping. For real. There's none of that type of energy is gonna make it in the world of Almighty. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't be walking around here with that type of energy. You jealous, you mad, you angry, you got these shortcomings with you, but then you want divine to see you. Divine is none of those things. Divine is everything opposite of your shortcomings. So when you display these energies, you are only telling divine you are not of that lineage. This is your intentions, remember? Your intentions is to prove that somebody else through your actions is not solidified in that. And divine is like, why are you worried about how beautiful they are? That's how I made them. Why are you worried about the way they speak? This is how I made them. Why are you worried about their perseverance and their ongoing? This is how I made them. I am Almighty. So they are doing exactly what they're supposed to. The world has taught us not to be this. And most of our people that go against each other is because they feel that more than anything, the world has won them. So, you know, the people who didn't get a chance to stand up in some value, right? The world has won them. And now because the world has won them, they speak from that tongue. Look on the news. Look at the presidents. Look at the controlling parties. Look at people who solidify or understand and lack thereof of what they're possibly able to do. And it's not like we wasn't trying to teach this shit. You know what I'm saying? We're just trying to show everybody like, yo, you can be great in your own way, but just not with control. That control shit ain't gonna fly nowhere. You're gonna fuck around and get your head popped. Because it's deities on different levels. And that was not for worship, but you have to understand, if you're rising and you're right, you're going to reveal that it's something great. Whenever you've seen a worm turn to a butterfly, did you not say, wow, that's beautiful? And that's the understanding. It's like when you watch something grow and then they rise in their higher spirituality and become a deity, you're going to be amazed. Because it's not something that you are doing. And majority of the time when you see other individuals that are witnessing this, they have two responses: a response of theirs, a response that is not of theirs, and then a response that sets the motion of, I can't wait till I get my chance to do it. See, you can either be the bridge or you can burn the bridge. This is the reality. You have parts of this world that have that spirit now entailed and mixed inside of them. So it's like even the ones that were learning, they had a fear. They had a fear of wondering if it would last. When you don't have it, when you don't have a connection, that's what you hold on to. If I can keep it going for a long time, how long can I lie for? How long can I steal? How long can I manipulate? And if it's not built on a divine foundation, you're gonna have a hard fall. That's a long way to drop. That's a long way to drop down, you know. It's a very long way to drop down, but you're gonna have to fall that way. You're gonna have to fall because there's no wings with that. You didn't gracefully fly up that to that place. You didn't rise gracefully in that place by the acts of your character. You didn't selflessly make these notions with diligence and discipline. So how do you believe this is, you see what I'm saying? Like, this is the world that they promote. You believe falsely. You believe falsely. So your false beliefs has you doing all types of shit. I'm gonna go over here. I'm gonna undermine this. I'm gonna cut this corner. I'm gonna turn this. It just takes natural hard work, man. And it has to be something that's yours. Now, if you waste your time looking at everybody else and the rest of the world and what they doing, trying to figure out who is you gonna steal so you can try to seem as if you're better, that means you like to waste time. That means you hate yourself that much that you ain't gonna work on your shortcomings. And keep in mind, if you complaining about the things that didn't happen in your life and you never put no work to fix it, that explains you. Like I said, the truth is in your actions and your shortcomings. If you can't read, go learn how to read. If you can't do math, go learn how to do math. If you don't have intelligence, go learn how to get it. This is the power that we have, yo. Anything that you want to know that you can, even selling yourself short. You want to copy another man, I wouldn't take that road, but if you want to do it, have at it. You'll see at the end of all that work you put in of being jealous of another man, you'll see that you wasted your time. That's all I'm saying. You'll see that you're wasting your time when you got so many things you could do for yourself. You know what I mean? I come in the room and people light the fuck up. It's just how it is, yo. Like, when I step in the room, I step in the room. If I got something or don't got nothing, that's me. You can't be me because you can't carry that weight. It's not yours to carry. So you got to think about how that shit look. You walking around here, a whole elephant trying to look like a giraffe. They're like, wait, that's a funny looking elephant. And that be the part that people don't want to absorb. Like, you steady trying to be something that you're not. Looking up and down to this person's existence. You literally look between their legs, like trying to figure out what they got between their thighs. Like, that shit is corny. Like, it's the worst level. Like, all the way down to molecules. You want to be not you. Instead of trying to fix the things you don't do in your own life or you can't do in your own life or looking at them, you too busy looking around you to stay focused on what's moving so you can steal some shit. That's where the true confidence come at. When you got brothers that wake up and they fight for something, is because I can see you trying to be me. I know me through and through. As I stand here in my confidence and I move within my spiritual motion, I can see you trying to be me. That be the reality. That be the shit nobody want to face. And you be seeing your peoples like that. Like, look at them trying to be baby me. Get up out of here. Yo. You can't be me. You could try to be me. You could keep looking to try to see if you want to be me. But at the end of the day, you still whatever the fuck you is putting on my suit. Whole Mario brothers out here with a Tanuki suit on. I'ma be him. I want to be like them. I want to be like Mike. I want to be like Mike. This shit crazy. That should be crazy, yo. The oppression, the oppressor has taken you. That's what you are. This is like that girl said, you unlock my femininity. How? You're a woman. What what are you talking about? Like, are you just that afraid? What'd you say? Yeah, lock my spirituality. My she said, yeah, lock my femininity, my femininity. No, you've been a feminine woman since you came out of the womb. And when you was a baby, you didn't think nothing of that shit. You didn't say, I can't be a woman today. Is when you started comprehending that you had to carry that, is where you started going into a shell. And then thinking that nobody cared about you, letting those thoughts overtake your mind enough to where now you subsidize that with the value of I never was that, when in fact that's only what you have ever been. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't need that much attention in your life to where you fail yourself. They don't like me, so what? Who gives a shit? I don't even know these fucking people. You know what I'm saying? Like, that'd be the weird shit to be like. That's like, people be weirdos for real. They be like, they don't like me or they didn't. I don't fucking care. You don't like, fine. Good for you. Have a great day. I don't fucking care if you don't like me, if you don't want to. I don't, that shit doesn't do nothing for me at all. It does nothing. You know what I'm saying? It does nothing to me. Like, I like to see people waste time on plans they think that work. That should be cracking me the fuck up. Like, you know what I'm saying? You ever looked at water and was like, hey, water, you know what? Water's sitting there like, interesting. This person believes they're changing me. And this person believes they're affecting me in some way. This shit is hilarious to me, yo. Like, it's super hilarious to me. And I sit back and I can't help but to decompress from. It's just easy to blow it all out. It's like a fart, like brr, brr, you just let it go. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, it is what it is. That's how you feel. I'm sorry you carrying that burden. You know what I'm saying? You got to carry that shit with you. You know, so that be the reality. You know what I'm saying? That be the true actuality of all things. And then people be chasing other shit. You know what I'm saying? As soon as, like, this whole paradigm of people saying, I wouldn't recognize a good man if it was right in front of me. It's because your idea of what that is not a good person. It's your addiction. You know what I'm saying? So most people are addicted to a mental thing. What you see in your mind is what you want. I want a guy that looks like this. I want a guy that does this or has that. I want a girl that's shaped like this and can do these things and all this. And the one that's for you, you might just miss it because you're too busy looking for something. You know what I'm saying? I done had niggas around me that's straight flaming and be trying to act like they hard. You know what I'm saying? Be trying to act like they straight up dudes and shit, but they really be around you trying to low budget crush on you. Dudes that be like that. You know what I'm saying? Claiming they're your friends and shit. You know what I'm saying? I'll be like, yo, this nigga gay. You know what I mean? I ain't with none of that shit. You know what I mean? Not gonna be able to do it. They ain't coming in with it, ain't leaving with it. Dig me? So I don't be known to be wrong with people, yo. Like, I ain't even about to dig into that. I ain't even about to go into that little pocket, yo. Like, be like, yo, why you even thinking like that? Like, why those thoughts in your mind? You know what I'm saying? Like, motherfuckers be having some fucked up shit going on with them. So either or, it is what it's gonna be. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think about these things like the world has literally fucked people all the way up. And it started out with the change of spirituality. It was never a religion. The spiral is the motion that universal energy comes into the earth as. And when that spiral comes into the earth, it carries a set of knowledge, right? You're not relying on it, you're choosing it. That's something different. You know what I'm saying? You are it. You are the word made flesh. So how do you rely on other words? You know what I'm saying? Like, when you start seeing these things take place as far as how people speak to things, you know it's disconnected from the umbilical cord of the divine because it has to have a negative output. So then you're forced to feel negativity via what understands it more fully. This is why you have to be mindful of people who have these traumas that they went through, because they're literally going to inflict that on you. They need more people like them around. That it validates their negativity. Like for them to have you there, right, dealing with them or absorbing that energy, and then subsequently you kind of move similar to that energy, it makes it seem like it's normal. It's normal to be angry. It's normal. Those are not normal things. These are inflictions. You gotta keep in mind, when you're a baby, you don't know that you're getting reprimanded. Like if somebody tells you no as a child, you're an infant, you don't know what that is. You're like, why are you yelling at me? Why does it sound saying that? And then you have to learn that means stop, right? As a child, like nobody, like this is the psychotic mentality of a person's mind. Like you will literally, as an adult, say stop to a child that never heard that word ever in life and expect it to respond to that. but you don't got no issues. You don't have no shortcomings. You're like, stop it. You heard me say stop. That fucking kid don't know what you're talking about, yo. But you're steady saying it, right? And eventually they're gonna get it. Do you think that's the way you teach? Is by expressing it in a way to where that they'll eventually understand you meant to stop. That's interesting. That's interesting, because that's kind of narcissistic, right? It's the reverse polarity of narcissistic energy. So a narcissist believes that they're only seen. Everybody only sees them. So even in your control, you believe that if you say, right, that it's supposed to be stopped at that moment, you should understand, comprehend, and listen to me at the same time, even if you never heard that term before in your life. So who in the world really has the problem? Not the baby. It would have to be the person who wants the baby to respond, don't you think? This is what I mean by this retrospective value, people running around, this will happen. No, most of y'all inflict these stories on people. Y'all sit back and you watch and you learn and you say, I'm gonna make sure that they feel like this and watch how they respond. Once I start seeing this take place, these certain things take place, I can tell that you're oppressed. I can tell that you are probably not of divine, no matter what you look like. I can tell you're not of divine, because it doesn't work that way. You know how many times I've liberated myself, just myself, been in different situations, like, I don't know how the fuck I'm gonna get out of this shit. And I get out of it. And then I think about these things like, damn, yo, you know what? My whole life, people been trying to make me feel some type of way. Shit crazy, right? Like you come to a world that's not of divine, but claims that it is. Wow, y'all seen that just now, yo? Y'all seen that light just now? Did you see it, yo? It was over there, yo. You seen that? Did you see it? That's crazy. That's crazy. They be in here with me, B. They be in here with me all the time, yo. I don't make this shit up. They be with me. They be like, yeah, I keep fucking around. You gonna find out. Anyway, all praise due to the Most High, yo. Because people have always tried to put on your shoes and they try to make it cute. Look at everything on TV, man. Look at everything in the world. Everything that you do, you try to make it cute. Like, you know what I'm saying? Oh, it's okay. It's not okay. It's not. And if you're not doing it right, it's degradation. It's rusting in the long run. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just breaks shit down. And nobody wants to take responsibility for their actions. As soon as you mention some true shit, you know what they do? They sit around, they congregate about you. I'm gonna keep talking. Ain't nothing gonna stop me from talking true. Supreme. You dig me? I've been here and been here and been here. Done came back plenty of times. I've been here. It's a fact. So with that being said, I am not gonna wise. And I hope y'all stop living in fear. You know, when your life is only backed up by lies, you gotta think about that. If that's all you got to lean on is lies, that's all you accomplished in your life was being able to lie like a mother. You know what I'm saying? Look at the people that you attach to when you're only a liar. Everything that you've ever done has been built off lies. Like your foundation is so weak and it's going to fall. You can't take that with you to the grave. Not that. It ain't gonna go with you. And you've already been weighed and measured by a feather. Because all that heavy weight you carry, all that I don't care, I'm gonna do what I want energy, all that, you know, I'm gonna crush who I want, I'm gonna lie on who I want. Ain't nobody gonna stop me. You're right. Divine said, I'm gonna let you stop yourself. So I rose Pharaoh just to crush him. I gave Pharaoh all the power to feel as if he was a king, just to bring your ass down right in front of everybody who you want to see you like that. We've seen this so many times. The story has never been new under the sun. There's no new stories under the sun. Just a bunch of people that's upset that they don't stand on truth. A bunch of people that says, damn it, somebody's being truthful. Damn it, somebody's literally fighting for the right way to do it. That's the world we live in. How many more lies can I get across before it's all said and done? Like, I didn't even know this was when I was young. I didn't know this was a thing. I didn't know people would lie for sport. You know what I'm saying? Like, I used to try to figure out how can you be in a room full of lies and be comfortable. It makes me uncomfortable. It's too much nasty energy. I got to separate. I got to go outside and breathe truth. I'm so serious. Like the air is true. The natural smells are true. You got to be outside. You got to put your foot on the bare ground, like barefoot, and let that natural truth hit you. Because everybody's fake. I want to dress up like this. I want to front like I have it like that. I want to lie so I can take that from him or her. You will respect me because of this or that. These things are shortcomings that people have via what they didn't want to master in themselves. That is almighty nothing. None of that has anything to do with the Almighty. And subsequently, people are always and will continue to grab some form of middle piece of something. It'll be a book in between you and that space, a statue, it'll be a stone, it'll be something in between you and the Almighty, just to cushion the blow because of how much bullshit you don't put in. All praise due to the Most High because of how much bull crap you done implemented in between you and the divine, and you not wanting to clean that up. Your false retrospect of the way you think and what you think you know about shit is the same energy that turns around that you have to clean up. Do you take accountability? No. That's why you don't want to clean up your mess. I can watch you in your normal life and know that you messy, knowing damn well you ain't gonna never clean up your mess because you don't clean up regular shit. You point out every little thing that somebody do, but do nothing. And because you speak towards everything negative, you believe that you're due some form of reciprocal value in that negative output. That's not how it works. You have to put something in if you want to take something out. You don't even plant seeds. You don't even plant seeds. Or your seeds come back dead. Everything you plant goes a different direction. This is, you know what I'm saying? They said, wait, let me shut up. You know what I mean? Let me shut up. But at the end of the day, it gets deep. It gets deep. You can watch these values. You can watch these values, and the only reciprocation to it is the fact that you want to say, look, they talking, they talking about my feet, they talking about my face, they talking about my head, they talking about my skin color. So what? Who cares? You got to make somebody feel bad for you and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to go tell a fucked up story so somebody be like, dang, that's terrible, yo. Here, let me help you out. Nah, even the truth these days don't matter to people. You can tell somebody the truth, but everybody in the same mentality. So it kind of feels like you panning for attention. You know, the truth can stand alone by itself. If you're wrong at the end of the day. And this is where the divine comes in. It's like, why would I go to people about anything? I'm not telling you motherfuckers nothing. What's the point? What you gonna do? You gonna do the right thing? I can trust you to do the right thing? Nah, not a reality, right? Can't trust that. I can trust the divine though. I can always trust the divine to be true. Majority of people who claim they have spirituality, they don't hold on to that. Their word means nothing. They say they're gonna do something and don't. They lie, cheat, steal the best way they can. They're too busy worried about making themselves happy and comfortable. Just be the reality, yo. Like, you sit back and watch it and let divine record it all. Like, and then I wonder, I say, wow, the whole planet is like this. So ultimately, I start to think, so initially that plan to rise back to the highest spirituality, that was stopped short via a program. Slowed down in some aspects, like, oh my God, they're going to rise again. The halos are coming out. I can see them already. They're already moving in this direction to be different. Look at the stability. Look at the strength. They're going to do way better this time. I'm not a part of that because I didn't play a role in making it happen. That's what most people start feeling. They be like, it ain't gonna happen to me because look all the dirt I done did. So you start seeing the change and then get mad because you ain't been putting no work in. So then you want to slow up the line. Yeah, Divine said he got a place for them people too. Ultimately, if there's ever a big enough dirt spill, it has to be cleaned up. And ultimately, the dirt is spilled across the whole planet. Everybody has somebody around them that lies, cheats, and steals. It's just what it is. And ultimately, I think Divine is going to clean it up. Some of my meditations partake in me becoming the largest light in existence. And when I'm that large, I give a piece of light to everybody. I start pinpointing everybody's existence, where they at on the earth. I can see them. People that I don't remember, people that I do remember, I start seeing them everywhere in different parts of the world, and I give them a little piece of light. Just a little spark to light that fire up. That's what some of my meditations are about. Like, I transcend and give unconditional love to people. And ultimately, I know they feel it. I know people feel it because I can see it go into them. Some of them act like don't hit them because they so dark. They be dark as shit. They got so many dark demons in them, and you give them that light, like boom, and you see it hit their whole existence, their whole nervous system flare on. I can see the colors come on. I'm like, look at me, turned on now. I done turn your ass on. You don't even know it. I done turn the lights on you. You ain't even know it. I'm just sitting back like I want to see if they can recognize that where it came from. And I laugh because I be like, yeah, nah. You ain't get it. Divine like, yo, some of them you can't spark on. I'm out here trying to light old lighters and shit like, come on, spark. They ain't got no gas in it. Some people ain't got no fluid, so they can't spark up. You know what I'm saying? Some people used to be so nonchalant about life until people want to steal that light for themselves. And then look, y'all seen that again? It was when that shit just went, it was like up here. No, it was like over here. And as it was coming down, it disappeared halfway. I caught it with my eye, disappeared halfway. It disappeared in thin space. So y'all see these little things floating around me. I'm telling y'all, supreme, yo. Supreme. All praise due to the Most High. But yeah, it'd be like that. Like people just, y'all people don't want to understand that you've been indoctrinated. Divine said, come out of her. Like that, the Bible is the most contradictive book ever. It's because you had people who didn't understand truth, taking truth and trying to use it to right control. And even though it worked for some aspect, your understanding to the words that we're using is supposed to be a hierarchy. So even if somebody used the words that you had for control, you're supposed to be able to comprehend those words to its highest stability, not how it's given. You're supposed to be able to hear that and be like, that ain't what that mean, dumbass. This is what's supposed to be like this. This is what it meant. You're supposed to be able to look at those words and understand that everything connected to the way they're using it and how they're saying it is incomplete. You're supposed to know where they took it at. But we're talking about an almighty being. Almighty. Talking shortcomings, talking failure, talking all these negative qualities. No, this is an almighty being's words being used by individuals of these qualities. That's the difference. You had to feel that way to feel that way. And if I ain't got to feel that way, why would I know that shit? I'm a part of all things. I am of all things. So why would I have to know any of this? Why would I have to feel any infliction? What would impress to oppress something that knows that feeling? You can't do nothing to me that you ain't experienced already. And if you wanna put that on me, that means you sick. You need to get far away from people. You need to go somewhere by yourself and go work that shit out. For real. So you can come back and be conducive to people. You're not supposed to carry that shit around with you for the rest of your life. You walking around angry about some shit that nobody, you learned how to carry grudges and all that shit. Man, if you don't get your broken ass away from me and everybody else who's trying to live normal, you're broken. And if you don't take responsibility for your brokenness, you're infecting people, hiding and shit, knowing that you sick as hell, but you infecting people. Everything that you produce is broken, and then you want to hide. You want to hide. Then you figure out you looking at yourself and don't want to take accountability from the fact that you're broken, and you're spreading that energy around people. You got false smiles and false this and false that. It just eats you up alive to see things happen. You say shit out your mouth, and then the truth come right back around, and you and boomerang and pop you in your forehead. Be like, I thought you said that about them. They look more of what you said they're not than what you saying you are. It just eats you up alive. That be the reality. Nobody want to sit there and then you gonna sit there and keep combining that value. We form negative. Let's fight. Let's fight the truth with more negative. Everything I show the divine. That's why I'll be so still and quiet. I'll be like, yo, Most High, you see this bullshit, yo? Like, divine, you see this bullshit? What is going on today? Not for nothing. You can't force nobody or even ask anybody to change. They have to want to look at it and say, you know what, I gotta change. I messed up. That's the real power, is vulnerability. Because this world promoted a false level of power. Look at they do this whole presidential shit. And they put these bowls everywhere and people come. They show you this false level of power. They got these machines. They got guns. It's a lot of them. And the first thing everybody be like, that's power. It's not power. That's the promotion of it. That's what that is. The promotion of what it seems to be. Majority of the time, most of these places are not even inflicted. They'll stage some of this shit to make you believe that it's a reality. If I can make you jump off, you ain't never heard the old saying, if your friends jump off a cliff, you're going to jump too? People used to live by that shit back in the day. But now, motherfuckers say some shit, you be following everything somebody say. Somebody say something, I'm jumping off with them. I'm going with them because they said, I'm jumping off the building with them because they said you were wrong. Well, you know what? Back in those days, we didn't say anybody was wrong because nobody felt the need. It was not a need to impress falsity. So the infliction of jealousy wasn't a normal thing. They even tried to give you stories of old saying that it happened in this time. Man, that shit ain't happened. That's why you don't get cartoons like that. That's why you don't get too many of those false stories of negative. Like they want to make it. They be like, yo, let's put negative in Egypt. Let's show how. Man, no. No. Let's put it in Kemet. Let's put it in Nagrisha. Let's put it here. Let's put it there. Let's put it in Barubador. You know what happened to these people? They got burnt in a lake of fire. This was carved in the stone. Anytime, and it was crazy because anytime the opposing forces would get close, some of the weaker energies would start absorbing that energy. That's how you knew where they was gonna infiltrate at. So you would have a group of weak people that wasn't doing right by their spirituality and their own culture. So they probably would be the ones that would lead somebody to the entrance of the secret city. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, they always on some weak shit. So they probably the ones who felt that weak energy. It's the dynamic of the polarity. So automatically they had to play that role so they can meet their demise. That's the only way that's the only way liberation is going to happen. You had to play the worst role so you can meet your demise because that's who you are inside. You had so many chances to do right by people, but you won't. So, all right, play that role then. You're going to burn in a lake of fire. Facts. Don't make this shit up, yo. I just been reading about it. Been seeing this shit since the beginning of time. They be talking about how women be giving away their children and all that, selling their children. Do you know this shit happened before Jesus? Before Jesus walked the earth, or the stories they have for that particular individual walked the earth, they was talking about women running up to strange looking people with pale skin, giving them their children. Here, take my babies. The guys who wasn't a part of spirituality and Barubado. I mean, this shit really predates the Jesus by like 10,000 years. So the guys who wasn't really doing they thing in Barubado, these are African people, original people. You see what I'm saying? With dreadlocks and all this shit. Yeah. They show you they had like a bar. And this all carved in the stone. These people chilling at the bar. They drinking, they smoking weed, they sniffing coke. They playing the banjo. Got a piano out there, blowing the saxophone. I'm so serious. This is in the stone on the walls. Right? And they also show those same people was the one that led the Pale people into the city to take over. This city was being hidden by the jungle. Anytime anybody came to look for it, the jungle would grow in different places. They would get lost. They'd be like, yo, how is this happening? It wasn't a wall here before. Let's cut it down. We can't cut it down. Our tools can't chop the trees. So they would have to find their way back out or die. These are stories that are real. You had individuals that wanted change but didn't do what they were told. And the change that they want was a negative change. So divine allowed them to play the worst role possible. Divine allowed them to play that role, while the ones that were acclimated in spirituality, they rose to a height that would carry through time and space, literally leaving that place with all that energy with them. And the ones that played the role in their demise would demise. the ones that played the role in their demise would demise. They would burn in the lake of fire. You literally see a cauldron, a big metal pot. Then this is how they carved it out: a big metal pot, and it's carved out fire under it. And they're like they're like people inside this hot liquid bubbling. They're like all screaming. And this is carved in the walls, man. It's carved in the walls. I ain't making this up. Carbon dated. And then we want to call it karma. Karma is only your memory. Karma is your memory. You really get penance for going against what you are. Let a fish start moving around in the water all crazy. Another fish gonna eat it. Stop acting like you don't know how to swim. Should be funny, man. The hate be supreme, yo. The hate be supreme. It'd be so supreme. I'll be like, look at it go. Look at it go. Look at it go. Look at it go. Yeah, I'm gonna upload some music today, yo. I've been uploading. Well, getting it on my joint. I got some, but I'm gonna play a little fraction of music. What is today? There's a Tuesday. I'm gonna play some music today, but I've been waiting, you know what I'm saying, trying to, that value, you know what I'm saying? Because I be getting the hate be hitting me hard. You know, everybody be hating on me. They don't want to see a nigga do shit. It's all good. I know y'all happy TikTok came back on and all that. I seen this commercial. This dude was crying. He was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. 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 Like, yo, this dude crying for real, for real. Like, that shit funny, yo. You know what I'm saying? Like, people be like that, yo. They be stuck to shit so much they don't care what they say or how they feel about nothing. Like, and they'll put it out there, and that's supposed to be their vulnerability. In fact, they ain't even chose the Most High. The Most High, like, damn, that's how you act over an app. I could never give y'all, and then it be shit like that. Like, that's the reason why they didn't say you can have these things, right, as spirituality, because look how you act over immaterialistic things. You out here crying and shit. Oh, they're gonna shut the app down. Yeah, you wasn't supposed to be a part of this. We're almighty beings, or we're a descendant of almighty beings. Where's this fucking weakness coming in at? And then they get mad when you don't show weakness. My father is almighty, yo. Like, what part of that conversation are we missing? Oh, you're gonna be weak too, because I was weak. No, you're weak because of the choice you made. Stop looking for a scapegoat, blaming everybody for the shit that happened in the olden days. What you went through is your fault. There's plenty of choices you could have went through. You could have handled and tried to handle your shit, but you didn't handle them like that. You handle them in the way because you wanted people to see you. It was all about how they saw you. All about what you can receive. You wanted to blame somebody for something. Instead of handling that shit with the Most High, you didn't do it the right way. So it's the same thing. Divine is almighty. How do you come in weakness and expect to win? That's why people don't be understanding shit. They be like, yo, wait a minute. That didn't work. We are children of the Almighty. Why would you think it would? They had cut Samson's hair off, and Samson got up and pushed pillars like, you had that hair. I'm about to knock this shit down. Ah. Ah. It's funny. Everybody always wants to oppose what's right. Keep in mind, when it's strong and it's right, oh, they don't like that. They don't like when it's strong and it's right. They want to tell you where you're wrong at. Divine said, how you going? You can't check Divine, yo. It's just not going to happen. So you need to let it go. Grow the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? Your truth is in your actions and your shortcomings. I ain't going to hold you. Just trying to show you something. Naga the wise.